Hey guys, this is E with Scrapbooking with me, and today what we're going to make is this cute little card holder. Now I'm going to make 2 or 3 of these and put them together, and one will be like for my anniversary cards, birthday cards, all occasion cards, you know, sympathy cards, whatever. I'll just keep adding them too, and I can sit these in my drawer. And, you know, I can label it up here, whatever, and then I'll know this one is a birthday card, this one is a sympathy card, whatever. So it's just kind of a way for me to keep them organized, and this does fit right down in my drawer, so it's perfect size. And it's cute and easy to make. I like organizational ideas. I did get this off of Pinterest, and I think I have actually seen someone do a YouTube video on this. If I find the link, I'll put it below. But let's get started on this one. It's really cute, and as always, I'm going to do mine in different colors. So you're going to need a piece of cardstock that is 11 by 12 inches. And on the 11-inch side, so let's turn it this way. On the 11-inch side, you're going to score at 4.5. So at 4.5 and at 6.5. And then you are going to turn it to the 12-inch side, and you're going to score at, make sure I get this straight, you're going to score at 6 inches and at 10.5 inches. Okay, so that is all the scoring that you're going to do right now. So you can put that down and go ahead and fold and burnish your score lines. And someone asked me what cardstock I use because they said it looks really, really thick. And this is American Craft cardstock. I love their cardstock. It's not expensive, plus it seems to hold up really, really well. So I buy it in the big bundles, so this is what I use all the time. So now what we're going to do is cut in on these fold lines on the side. And cut it as straight as you can. You can use your cutter on this if you want. I just use my scissors and brave it. Hopefully I don't get it too crooked. And go to this side and do the same thing. And you're just cutting to that score line, the first score line there. Alright, and now you're going to need to put a score line in these pieces. So I bring my scoreboard back and I just fold this up out of the way and I put that back in there just like that. So on this side you're going to score it at 2 1/4. And then on this side you scored it at 8 3/4, I do believe. Yes. Alright, so this one is scored at 2 1/4, and then over here on this side you're going to score it at 8 3/4. That's going to give you that center of both of those. So let's go ahead and fold those down and burnish. And fold it down and burnish it. Alright, so now you have something that looks like this. So to get this angle cut that is right here, what you're going to do is come over. You can eyeball it, cut it like you want, or you can measure a little bit. I don't like to measure, but I will measure things like this just because I am terrible sometimes about getting it straight. So from that score mark right there, you're going to come over 1 inch and make a little mark. And then you're going to do the same thing on the other side. 1 inch and make a mark. And then from this end down here, you're going to come up 2 1/2 inches and make a mark. And do the same thing over here on this side. 2 1/2 inches and make a mark. And now all you need to do, you can just cut from one of those little score lines to the other, or you can go ahead and mark it with your pencil. And I can't see that one. There we go, right there. And I'm just going to go ahead and lightly mark it with my pencil so that I can halfway cut straight. Alright, there we go, right there. And then all you need to do is just take your scissors and trim that off. Or you could put it back in your scoreboard, your paper cutter, and trim it off that way. The less tools I have to drag out, the better. I like it. So I just take a chance and cut. Right, so then you have something that looks like this. It looks like a big mess, doesn't it? I promise it will come together sooner or later. Okay, so the very first thing that we're going to do is we're going to fold them up, and these are going to fold over just like that onto them. So we want to put quite a bit of score tape on here. You can use glue, just whatever. I'm going to use score tape because I want it to stick together really well. So I'm going to put a piece there, piece here. You don't have to use this much, but I want it to, these little sides, I want them to stick together and not be, you know, have a gap. So that's why I'm using this much. So these are going to come up, and these are going to go over just like that. That's going to make that little front part. And then these flaps are actually going to go inside this just like that. So what we want to do now is we want to put score tape on the outside of these. As you can see, I'm opening this back up, and I'm going to put score tape out here. I'm going to run some across here. And then I'm going to run a piece down through here. Maybe another one right here. That should be plenty. Okay. So we've got all our score tape on. Now it's just time to take the backing off and start assembling. Okay, so bring this piece up, fold it in, put it right on that score line right there, and then bring this piece over and down, just like that, and then just press it really well so that everything, see how that extra score tape makes that side close up? I like that part. I don't want it gaping open. Then do the same thing on this one. Put it right in that score line right there. Bring this one up, just holding that one. And then bring it over and press it down. Just like that. Oops, did I let that slip? Nope, I don't think so. Okay, then you use your bone folder and smooth that out. And I like to go to the other side and do that, smooth it out. So you've got those nice crisp edges. Okay, now we're going to take the score tape backing off of this. Now when you're taking that backing off and when you start to put this in there, make sure that you hold it together so that that score tape doesn't grab before you get ready for it to. Press it all the way to the bottom on both sides and right up against the sides. Oops, I ran that a little bit out there, but we will cut that off. It's not a problem. Okay, so there is our box, and now what you're going to need is your little bottom pieces. This just gives it some extra stability, sturdiness on the bottom, and a little bit of decorative edge. And as you can see, mine doesn't come all the way around, and that's fine with me because this is the side that I'm going to glue the next one onto, so it doesn't matter. If you want it, if you're only doing one and you want it to come all the way around, you're going to have to piece it or either let it have the gap in the back. So, because 12 inches of paper is what you're going to be using. Your first piece is cut at 1 3/4 by 12. And then the top piece is cut at 1 1/2 by 12. So we're going to glue those just like this. And I'm just going with the floral scene, and I'm using up some of my scraps. This doesn't exactly go with that, but when I put both of them together, it will match up. So I just like to use my scraps when I can. I am going to use just my glue on here because it will hold it nice and tight. Now this one does need to be scored, and if I'm remembering right, we'll score it correctly, and if not, then we may not score it correctly. I am going to try to remember how I scored the other one. I think I scored it at 2 1/2. So, whoops. So we're going to score it 2 1/2. You're scoring through two thicknesses, so we're going to score it at 4 1/2. And I think it's 9 1/8, I believe, and 11 1/8. I think that's right. So we'll see. We will just see. So we're going to fold on those score lines and see what happens. If they're correct, I'll go back over them with you again. Now this one, I want the long piece over here and my shorter piece over there, because that's the parts that I'm going to glue together, and that works. That works. Okay. So all I'm going to do is use some of my, I'm going to use some of my glue. I started to say I'm going to put score tape here, but no. I'm just going to use some glue. I'm going to start with my long side, and I'm just going to press that down. I'm going to start right at the bottom, pressing that down, holding it just for a second. And then I'm going to go to the back. And press that down, again holding it just for a second. Making sure that it is right at the edge. And then I'll go ahead and put this one down. I'm going to go from the inside, and so I can press that one down pretty good. Okay, then we'll put this one on. Looks like that one might be a little bit off kilter as far as my scoring, but not bad. I think we're good. Let's see what we got here. Oh yeah, I think that's going to work. No problem. So those score lines seem to be pretty good. I'm going to put some extra right in the corners of this, just because I want it to hold good and tight. Press that one down. I think that is it on that one. And then these two will go together like that. I know those are not exactly matching, but I am using up my scraps, remember that. And they do have flowers and pink and greens and that kind of thing. So that's fine with me. It's not a big issue. Alright, now we're going to put one of these little flowers on there. So instead of punching out a circle on this one, since this piece is a little bit small for that circle, I'm just going to run a little band from one side of that to the other that's the same color as this, and that will tie everything in together. If you repeat your colors in another area, then it's going to tie your project together. Even if those colors in the beginning don't look like they match. So we're going to run a little band across this one instead of putting that little circle behind it, just because we have this piece that is left from this 12 by 12. It's the same color, and we can use up some of our scraps plus tie this in with the rest of our project. This little band is just 2 inches, and then we're going to put our little flower right in the center. So on some of these projects, use up your scraps. Don't think that you have to drag out, you know, new paper or go buy paper or whatever. If you're just making the projects for yourself and just for self-storage, then, you know, you can use up some of your scraps and make these things. These are 2 prime examples of scraps that I have used up, and like I said, I am going to join them just like that, and then I'm probably going to add a couple more so that I'll have 1 each of these for my cards. There you go, guys. I hope you enjoyed that. I am going to join these together. I'm probably going to glue them. Not sure yet. I may just clip them together. That way I can just take one out when I need it, if I need, you know, birthday cards or whatever. And so that is it. I've used my scraps, and it's a quick and easy project, but I think it's very, very cute. It'll go well in my drawer where I keep my cards, my card bases and that kind of thing. And that's all of it. I hope you enjoyed it. It's very quick, very easy project. If you need any of the dimensions, they will be on my blog, and the blog link is below. Thank you so much for watching, and please don't forget to give us a thumbs up and subscribe. Bye-bye.